Hey guys, today I'm going to take you through the negative adaptations that your body makes every single time you attempt to diet and why that's leading you to become even fatter than before you started to diet. Okay guys, here I've drawn up a little bit of an illustration of sort of what happens when you diet. So on this axis we have calories and over here we have time. So what you look at is we've got calories, your metabolic rate and your body fat. These three things are going to change over time as you diet. And when you start dieting for the first time, these are all in the relative same area. The amount of calories you eat, your metabolic rate, and the level of body fat you have are all pretty much lined up really well. Now you see the black line is your calories, so that drops instantly when you start your new diet. What you'll then see is over time, your body fat is obviously going to drop because there's the difference between your metabolic rate and your calories here. Your metabolism is also going to slow down and try and adapt to the lower amount of calories because essentially dieting is slowly starving to death because our body doesn't know that we have access to food everywhere. It just knows that essentially if we continue on this path, we'd eventually die because we're expending more energy than what we're consuming each day. So a survival mechanism, it's going to slow down. So both of those start to follow in suit and you get to the point where your metabolic rate is going to slow down to the amount of calories in which you're currently consuming. And over this time you would have been losing body fat, but that's going to stop because your metabolic rate, the amount of calories at which you're burning, and your calories which you're consuming are now the same. So you're no longer going to lose any more weight. That's why they all plateau out here. Now you may be happy with this, or you just decide that you're going to jump back up and consume the amount of calories you were having before you attempted to diet, which is what most people do, on or off the diet. Now you'll notice here that your calories jump straight back up to what you're eating before, but it's going to take some time for your metabolism to adjust to that. So what's going to happen is your body fat is going to come up quite a fair bit during this period. However, your metabolism doesn't have a lot of time to recover. Now, in this period, you probably go, oh, I like the way I looked before when I was leaner. So you're going to attempt to diet again. So now you drop the calories down to where they were before. However, your metabolism has not recovered to the level it was pre-diet. So you don't lose half as much body fat at this level of calories. This is a little bit disheartening because dieting's now essentially become harder for you than it originally was. So what do you end up doing? You look at dropping your calories even lower again. So you take your calories from where they were and you drop them down even lower. Now at this point, your metabolism is a lot lower than it was before and your body fat's still relatively high up there. So you do lose weight, just like the first time because you've created a calorie deficit, but your body fat starts to come down, as does your metabolism, adjusting to your new level of calories. Now you're at a new low point down here where both your metabolism and your calories are aligned. Your body fat is lower than it's ever been before, but there's now started to create quite a gap, a disproportionate amount of the amount of calories and your metabolic rate to where your body fat percentage is. Now you're happy at this, you're leaner than you've ever been before, so instead of going back to where you're eating before, you decide I'll be a little bit smarter but I won't eat as many calories. But as you can see, there's still a large discrepancy here between the amount of calories in which you're consuming and where your metabolic rate is. So this causes you to gain a large amount of body fat, as you can see with the blue line here. That causes your body fat to shoot up higher now than your caloric intake because your metabolism is still so low from all the negative adaptations it's had from all your other dieting. So you get to this point here where you've been consuming that amount of calories for a while, but your body fat is relatively high even though you're not consuming that many calories, but metabolism is still pretty low because you haven't given yourself a long time to recover from that diet period. So this is what's commonly known as yo-yo dieting. So again, you start another diet, the most severe diet you've had yet. You drop calories lower than ever before because you're sick of not losing weight. So now you have this humongous calorie deficit here. Awesome, so you do start to drop your body fat and it comes down again. However, your metabolism is already pretty low, you're pretty sluggish. So it again is going to try and adapt to this new low point of calories which you've had. But because it's already lower than it was before, it's going to get down there pretty quickly this time. So now you lose body fat and you end up at the same spot you were last time, which is really disheartening, yet you're dieting harder than ever. That's because your metabolism is now so low and been damaged by this constant yo-yo dieting that your metabolic rate is really low. It's down here at your lowest caloric intake you've ever had and your body fat is up here. We're still the lowest you've ever had, but you're so starved, you're so tired of dieting at this point that you go, screw it. I'm just going to go back to how I was eating before for a little while. I deserve a break. I've worked hard. Now this is where everybody goes wrong and it's really disheartening. Now your metabolism has adjusted to an incredibly low amount of calories down here, but your body fat is up here. So by consuming the normal calories at which you were at the start up here when your metabolism was much higher, there's now going to be a large amount of body fat regained during this period of time. The worst bit is though, you continue to consume these calories and you're going to start gaining even more body fat than before because your metabolism is still trying to catch up. It is going to come back up again, but it comes out much slower than what most people generally reintroduce calories back into their diet. They may slowly lower them during a diet, but as soon as they finish the diet, they throw them back up to a higher level again. And this is what causes all the excess weight gain, is the discrepancy between the amount of calories and your metabolism. You'll notice both times here, that's how you lose or gain weight. So I'll show you what I mean is the reason why you're losing weight here is because there's this gap here where you're consuming less calories than your metabolic rate. So you're going to be losing weight in this scenario. When the red line of metabolism is above your calories, you're going to be losing weight. So, and the opposite happens here when the black line of calories is above your metabolic rate, you'll see you're regaining weight in here. And that's the period of, as you see, why your body fat goes up or down, and that's how it trends. So again, here, you've created caloric deficits here. So that area under the curve is where you're going to be losing weight, and you notice during that time your body fat comes down, again with our gigantic deficit over here. Unfortunately, the same is true when the calories go the other way though. So at this period here, you'll notice there is a very large period where your metabolism is a lot lower than your calories, and here when you go back to consuming your normal foods again, there is this gigantic amount of discrepancy where you're consuming a caloric surplus over your new low metabolic rate. And this is what causes a lot of people to regain all the weight after they've done diets, or maybe even become fatter than they originally were when they were dieting, is the negative metabolic adaptations that occur during dieting. Because remember, our bodies don't hate us, they're actually trying to keep us alive. And what you're doing by dieting is essentially recreating a scenario of starvation, because our bodies are made to keep us alive. So if you eat less calories than what you need every day, eventually you would die if your body didn't slow your metabolism down. So it's just trying to keep you alive. But the big problem is we make these huge adjustments of throwing calories straight back in after we finish dieting, and that's why we end up regaining so much weight. We lost the whiteboard, but it doesn't matter, because now I want to explain to you how you can improve your metabolism and increase your metabolic rate. The key is to slowly introduce your calories back in. Keep up with your weight training and your strength training, because your lean body mass and your protein is what's going to help keep your metabolic rate higher. You may have lost some of your muscle mass during dieting, so you should be focused on getting it back in. Slowly reintroducing calories back into your diet. So at the point when the calories are going up, your metabolism has time to adjust to it. So if you slowly increase calories over time, that's going to give your body a chance for your metabolism to catch up to it. So a quick example would be right here. At the end, when you finish that diet, even though your metabolism is damaged, if you slowly reintroduce calories, your metabolism will slowly come up with that. You will gain some body fat back again. However, it'll be much less than if you jump your calories up really, really high. And this body weight may actually come from lean muscle mass if you're training hard and you're eating the right amounts of protein. So the key is slowly reintroducing to allow your metabolism to adjust to this. So I hope this is really helpful, guys, in understanding why typical dieting and yo-yoing up and down with your calories is not the way to go. That you need a more sustainable approach and focus on optimizing your metabolism. That's what I try and do with every single one of my clients, and it's why they're able to lose weight and keep it off. They're able to consume double the amount of food they ever have before, because I work on maximizing their metabolic output. So if you want to find out more about that, make sure to just shoot me If you want to find out more about that, you're happy to check out more of my content, shoot me a message. I'm happy to reply. I'll put a comment below in this video. So I hope this was helpful, and make sure to subscribe to my channel so you see more videos on this, so you understand the importance of metabolic output and how you can achieve better results instead of your typical dieting by focusing on maximizing your metabolic potential.